Okay, so to make the no hardware necessary little coin purse, you only need a few things. So you will of course need your 2 pieces of cork fabric. A ruler of choice, doesn't matter if you want to do it in inches or centimetres, whatever ruler you like. You need a marking tool of some description. You'll need a lighter just to seal off the edges of the cork. A rotary cutter or a pair of scissors, doesn't really matter, whatever your choice is. You'll need some fabric glue or fray check or something to go around and seal the edges, and I have my little rolly tool thing that I use, which as you can see I use a lot, just to go around. And of course if you have one you will need a little label to put on. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my label. So I'm going to move my smaller piece of cork out of the way and I'm just concentrating on the larger piece. So I'm going to turn it over. You can see I've done this already, but I'll just show you. So we're going to measure down. I'm going to get my ruler around the right way. We're going to measure down 3 inches from the side, from the top, and make a mark. And we're going to do that on both sides. Okay, so 3 inches, make a mark. 3 inches is about 7.8 centimetres, but really 7.5 centimetres is fine if you don't want to be too fussy. Okay, so I hope you can see that. I've got my 2 little pink marks here either side. Now I'm going to fold up the bottom to that mark and I'm going to crease across there. Now I'm adding my label, you can turn this over, I'm adding my label to the back of my little purse because in a minute we're going to have a strap, you won't be able to see it otherwise. So I'm going to add my upside down label around about here. Let's find a midpoint. So we have sort of an idea where we're going. There we go. Okay. So I can just see that. So I'm going to add my label about here. While I'm at the sewing machine sewing my label on, I'm also going to take the smaller piece of cork and I'm going to stitch down both of the long edges, not the shorter ones, just the long edges, with a 3mm stitch length, 3mm from the edge on both sides. Okay, so as you can see, I've added my label and I have stitched down both sides of the longer edges. Now I'm going to take my lighter and I'm just going to burn very quickly. I think I need a new lighter. I think my lighter's had it. Do the same on the back. The back I've actually pulled the threads through, and so then I can burn off those. So I've pulled them through, knotted them, and now burnt them. So that won't pull off. Okay, so we're going to put our strap to one side, put that over there, and turn back over. Now, if you remember, we marked 2 points earlier, and we're going to use those 2 points in a minute. So the next thing we're going to do is take our ruler, and we're going to measure 1/2 inch in on both sides from the top. Okay, so remember we measured down 3 inches from the top. Now we're measuring on that top now 1/2 inch from each side. So 1, 2. In centimetres, that is about, well, it's just less than 1.5 centimetres. 1.2, 1.3, but 1.5 centimetres would be absolutely fine if you don't want to fuss too much. So using our ruler, doesn't matter which ruler, I change them. We're going to join up from our point here, which was our 3 inch down, to the point at the top, and we are going to draw a line. Now, it's up to you. You can draw a line or you can just cut it. Entirely up to you. It will really depend on what you're using. Obviously, if you're using a rotary cutter, it's really, really simple. If you're using scissors, you might want to draw a line first, so you're not quite so wibbly wobbly. I'm just going to use my rotary cutter, move that out of the way. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to line up our 2 points and we're going to cut that bit off. Oops, didn't cut that very well, did I? Put that out of the way, don't know that. Save those for later. We have our ruler, we have our rotary cutter. Okay, so we're actually all ready to sew. So I'm going to fold up to meet that line. I'm going to clip in place just to make it easier. Make sure it doesn't curve up too much. Remember, cork has a tendency to stretch a little, so make sure you're not bending it too much. I'm then going to measure down approximately ½ an inch. Where are we? Which is about there, which again is our sort of 1.5 centimetres. You might need to move your clip a little bit. You could have done this before you clipped it. That would have made more sense, wouldn't it? Okay, so I've got my 2 little marks, if you can see those. 1, 2. And I'm going to take my strap and I'm going to line up my strap with those 2 marks. Ooh. All fingers and thumbs today, it's cold in here. Spanish houses generally don't have heating. My house doesn't have heating, it's cold. Right, there we go. Fingers don't work in the cold. Okay, so we've lined up the top of our strap with our 2 little marks. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take it to the sewing machine and we're going to stitch from this bottom corner. We're going to go up the side here, up to the top, across the top, back down the other side to the bottom here. And we're going to back stitch beginning and end. Also, we're going to go backwards a couple of times over the strap here at the start and at the end, and here where the cork fabric is folded over. These are all the stress points. So we're going to back stitch a couple of times on these 3 and then here again on the other side, here, here and here, just so as when we're pulling it, getting cards and coins in and out, it doesn't pull the stitches away. Okay, so there we have it. That's been stitched all the way around, remembering of course to back stitch all the stress points. Now I'm going to turn it over. My cork has shifted a little bit, so I'm just going to take my rotary cutter, just trim up little extra bits that are showing. So a little bit there, just neaten the edges. Okay, I have used my lighter and burnt off the extra little bits of thread that were there. So that's our purse ready. So all we're going to do is we're going to fold down the top underneath our strap, bring it down quite far, sort of within, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, 1/2 centimetre. Okay. And then we're going to press cork down here, try and make a nice crease. As we know, cork will crease quite nicely. And there we have it. That's our little no hardware necessary coin purse.